so we've had a run and now we need to do our cool down. So we've finished the run on a walk or a gentle jog, just to get your heart rate back down so that you're breathing normally and that you're speaking normally. You keep moving the whole time. So if you come back and you've done a sprint finish, don't just stop. You want to keep moving, keep walking around until you get to a normal breathing pattern and you're not huffing and puffing. Once you're at that stage, we want to do some stretching. So we do static stretching this time. So we're going to start off with stretching your calves. So you're going to take a big step back, okay? You're going to press your heel into the ground, okay? Try not to fall over. Okay, the heel's into the ground, and you should feel a stretch through your calf. If you can't feel it, you can press forward. This always also works quite well if you're pressing against a wall. Okay, so you press forward and you should feel a nice stretch in your calf. Okay, you can hold your stretches for 10 or 20 seconds. If you feel something's a bit tight, you might want to hold it a bit longer. You might even want to do it a few times through the day. If you feel something, you know, one more than the other, you might have the start of a little injury coming, so you want to be all over it. If you keep all over it, it won't become something horrible. So you're going to bring that back leg in and you're going to sit into it. Okay, a lot of people don't feel this one, but it's really good if you've got a tight Achilles, like the bottom of your back of your ankle. So you're sitting into that, your weight's on this bent leg, this one's just stabilising you. Again, 10 seconds, and then we do the other side. So big step back, heel to the ground. If you can't feel the stretch in your calf, you're pushing forward. Okay, you've held it for 10 seconds, and you're then going to bring that in to an Achilles stretch, or soleus stretch is the real name for it. Okay, you should feel that in the back of your ankle or the lower part of your calf. Okay, so that's your calves done. Now we're going to do our hamstrings, which is the back of your thigh. Okay, so you're pushing your weight's on this back leg and your foot's on that heel, and you're pushing your hips towards the back wall. Now if you can't feel it down here, then just push your hips back a little bit more. Okay, so once you've done that one for 10 seconds, then you're just going to roll, I don't know if you can see it from there, you're going to roll that foot out to the side, and you'll feel another, like a slightly different part of that muscle stretching. Okay, and then we're going to stand up and do the other side. Same thing, weight's on this bent leg, but the leg that's doing the work is the straight leg, and you're going to feel it in your hamstrings. Push your hips back towards the wall if that's not working, and then tip that toe out for an extra special little stretch. Okay, so now we're going to work the front of your legs. You might want to hang on to something or hold your ear, helps with your balance, believe it or not. You're going to grab your foot, put your knees together, your hips up, and you should feel stretched down the front of your thigh. If you can't feel it, press your shoelaces into your hand. Push your hips forward a little bit more and you'll feel that stretch down there. If you can't even get hold of your foot, you can use like an exercise band, or even, you know, a dressing gown belt or something, to put that around your foot and pull it up, because I know some people have a bit of flexibility issue that they can't grab their foot. But you're just trying to pull your heel to your bum to feel that stretch down the front. Again, 10 to 20 seconds on each side. Try not to fall over, she says. Watching yourself wobbling about. Not going to work. Okay, so we've done our calves, we've done our hamstrings, we've done our quads. Okay, so now we want to do our hips. Okay, so a couple of different ways of doing like the front of your hip. So if you're inside and you have a mat, that is the best one, because you need it for your knee. Okay, one leg in front of the other, and we're just going to push forward, arms up, lean back, and you're going to feel the stretch down the front of your thigh, hip. So up and lean back. Okay, if you're out in the park, you can still do it without putting your knee down. You're just going to get down as low as you can, lift up and stretch. Okay, it's just as good. If you've got good balance, it's even better. But if you've got bad balance, you're not going to get the stretch, you're just going to be wobbling. Okay, so that's for your hips there. Your glute stretch, again, hanging on to something or somebody, or if you've got good balance, you're putting your ankle on the top of your, just above the top of your knee. Okay, so you've got a nice little triangle going on, and you're going to sit down into it. And you should feel stretch through your bottom. So it's obviously it's your hip, your glutes, all around here. So on there, if you're holding on to something, much easier, because again, if you're wobbling around, you can't isolate that muscle you're trying to stretch. So especially as new runners, we get really tight around here, so that hip flexor and the glute stretch is a really good one to do. Again, if you've got mobility issues and you can't get your leg up that high, then you can put it on a little stool or a step and just go into it like that. Okay. Last one. There's obviously hundreds of stretches you could be doing, but we've gone through the main muscle groups. This one is just pulling ourselves out of our hips. So you want to go one leg in front of the other. The leg that's at the front, use that arm, push up to the sky, and then lean over, and you'll get a lovely stretch all the way up there. When we're running, there's quite a lot going on here, so it's great because it builds up strength in your core and the sides, your transverse, but we need to stretch it out. Also does a nice little back stretch as well. Okay, so don't come forward, it needs to be up and over here. And the same with the other side, up and over. Okay, so if you've got any tightness in your back or anywhere else, then just come and ask me, and I can give you lots of interesting stretches to do. But that covers the main running muscles that should always be stretched out after a workout. So see you next time.